very good morning to you from Horsens, Denmark, host city of the BWF Thomas and Uber Cups 2026. We're coming to you from this beautiful city in the East Jutland region that has a little bit of everything for everyone, whether it's art and culture, whether it's sport, or even some nature. Well, the center of the action is here at Forum Horsens, and we're getting ready for more group stage action on day 5. It's about halfway point of this tournament. We've got the final group stage matches to be played over day 5 and 6, and then we get into the knockouts, into the business end, with day 7 getting the quarterfinals underway, and it all ends on day 10 with the Uber Cup final in the morning and the Thomas Cup final in the evening. Speaking of day 5, we're going to turn our attention to Group D action, and it is Bulgaria versus Spain that's about to get underway here on court 2. Of course, the tournament comes to an end for these two nations who will go home after the group stages conclude, but they have a chance to end their campaign with a bang here, either Bulgaria or Spain, by recording their first win of this Uber Cup campaign. For Team Bulgaria, there is plenty riding on this tournament, riding on this match, because they want to cement their place as the European champions. And they take on Spain, of course, in that morning kickoff. But after that, this evening, we have the decision for top spot in Group D, as Korea and Thailand will lock horns to decide who secures the #1 spot. Team Bulgaria, as you see, 6 women strong, spearheaded by the Stoeva sisters, who also were playing for Bulgaria back in 2016 when they made their Uber Cup debut. So that longevity of the Stoeva sisters continues. There they are, and they lead from the front once more, Stephanie and Gabriela Stoeva. For Team Spain, Clara Azurmendi has been tasked to lead this 8-woman strong team. She has been part of Spain's campaign every time they've played in the past 3 appearances, and this will be her 4th, of course. And 2 other names that are familiar in Lucia Rodriguez and Paula Lopez, who also previously played for Spain. So Spain looking to get their first win, first match win, I would say, of the tournament, as we see the order of play today in this morning. Kalyona Nalbantova, an up-and-coming star of Europe, she will go up against the very experienced Clara Azurmendi in the first women's singles. That'll be followed by another women's singles matchup between Gergana Pavlova, who is looking for her first win of the Uber Cup, as she takes on Christina Teruel. We'll have women's doubles after that, and the Stoeva sisters, who have already had a win this week. They will go up against Carulla and Jimenez, looking for win #2. And then we'll have women's singles match #3, as the 15-year-old Elena Popovanova goes up against a 20-year-old Ines Costero. We've had some fantastic performances by the teenagers in this tournament already, and Popovanova looking to add to that. And we'll end with women's doubles, as Nalbantova and Pavlova pair up to take on Lopez and Rodriguez, a former top 50 women's doubles pair. So that is how things line up for us this morning in the Group D clash with Bulgaria and Spain. Got some young members in our audience this morning. Looking forward to the badminton that's about to get underway on the courts. And I am delighted to have with me Bobby Griffin, who has been watching the badminton all week so far, and will be looking forward to, I'm sure, some scintillating action on court 2, Bobby.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I want to be here or over with in that excitable-looking crowd here this morning, which is nice to see. I mean, this is great on court 2. Whilst it might not impact the rest of the Uber Cup, because both teams are fighting off for 3rd place. There's national pride at stake. It's another big European clash as well. You've got ranking points that are at stake, which is important for both of these teams. And Bulgaria starting to become a sort of European, I'm not going to use the term powerhouse just yet, But what a terrific win at the European Team Championships in the women's event for Bulgaria earlier this year. And, you know, they're starting to become a force now. They've been relying on the Stoeva sisters for so long. You've now got Nalbantsova, who's cemented herself as their top women's singles player and really giving Bulgaria hope to become a really big European nation. So exciting for them in this clash.
Yep. Speaking of Nalbantsova, she's about to make her way onto court 2. But yes, just 20 years of age, and she's already making all sorts of waves in European badminton. Many looking at her to take on the mantle of the likes of Marin from the past. And of course, those are big shoes to fill. But still, just good to have that hopeful prospect, isn't it?
Oh, it's massive. I mean, she turned 20 years old just last month. She's still very young. She's got a terrifically promising career ahead of her. And I think also taking some pressure off Stefani Stoeva, who, whilst we all know has been a top women's doubles player for so long worldwide, in terms of Europe and in terms of Bulgaria, Stefani Stoeva, 20 national titles across women's doubles mainly, but also 7 times women's singles champion of Bulgaria. She's now sort of lost that place to Nalbantsova, who I can't see that changing for many years to come. But it means that the Stoeva sisters can concentrate, and team events, as we saw in Europe just months ago, you can now have this stronger squad lineup all throughout. And I mean, to beat Denmark in Europe in the finals was massive. It's going to be very tough for Spain. Biggest and most well-known player, of course, Azurmendi, coming out now. A lot of hopes on her shoulders for Spain in this first clash, this first match, to get them off to a good start, but they're going to be hard-pressed to overcome Bulgaria.
Well, yes, Spain, of course, didn't participate in the European Women's Teams Championship, so they find themselves with the privilege of playing in the Uber Cup despite that. See that they've met once before, these two, Nalbantsova and Azurmendi. That was back in 2024 at the High-Low Open in the first round, and Azurmendi won that 11-21, 21-17, 21-12. But, you know, that Nalbantsova 2024 and this Nalbantsova in 2026 is a massive growth from, you know, who Azurmendi would have faced at the High-Low Open a couple of years back.
Yeah, I think to some extent you're exactly right there, Mosh. I think taking any head-to-head history or matches that were played more than 18 months ago, we can take that out of the equation. A very different player these days now, Nalbantsova, inside the top 50, and she's making waves. Yep. Promising future.
Absolutely. She has gone up to 48 in the world this week, and is enjoying her career best ranking from Parvomai, Bulgaria. And her win-loss record stands at 7-8 in 2026. She's got a 48% win rate. It's dropped a little bit because of her loss against An Se-young. As we see there, she was really had a mountain to climb against An Se-young in the previous group stage match. She lost 7-12 in 35 minutes. But then look at that, her first top 10 scalp with Ratchanok Intanon, coming through from a game down to beat someone like Ratchanok Intanon. That was huge for Nalbantsova.
Massive. What a brilliant result. As you said, what a scalp. That's a good phrase for it. Terrific.
Well, Clara Azurmendi, she has been carrying the Spanish flag for many years now, but for the first time she steps out of Carolina Marin's shadow, because Marin, of course, has been a stalwart in the Spanish lineup for all their previous 3 appearances, and now Azurmendi finds herself in the unique position of being the one everyone turns to.
Yeah, I mean, that's... it's not just big shoes to fill, it's almost impossible shoes to fill, to be honest, for not just Spaniards, any European player. I mean, to sort of have to step in for Marion. I think you can kind of take that pressure away from yourself and just go out there and try and do your best and enjoy it, because that's almost impossible to live up to the likes of Marion.
Well, she will take some confidence in the fact that she pushed someone like Pornpawi Chochuang to 3 games in their encounter against Thailand. They lost that tie in the end 5-0 or 0-5, but the fact that she was the one who was able to really test Chochuang will certainly give her some hope, won't it?
Yeah, taking a game off any of the Thailand women's singles players is really impressive. Yes, the third game was fairly one-sided. Joshua came back and focused and got the better of Azamendi fairly comfortably. But to take a game is promising and good news for Spain and for Azamendi.
So we're about to get this women's singles match underway. Kalyana Nalbantova going up against Clara Azurmendi. And, well, on paper, Nalbantova would slightly edge Azurmendi.
Ladies and gentlemen,
We'll have to wait and see whether she delivers,
right.
lives up to the task.
Spain, represented by Clara Azurmendi. And my left, Bulgaria, represented by Kalyana Nalbantova. Bulgaria to serve, level, play. One love.
Good touch, Nalbantova. Azamendi's drop shot just floated in, giving the Bulgarian plenty of time to use those racket skills.
She did well with the pickup earlier in the second shot, Nalbantova.
And Mosh, there's starting to become a little bit of expectation, I guess, about Bulgarian performing at tournaments like this. Now that they've got 3 medals at European Women's Team Championships now, including the gold this year. Spain, you could argue it's a bit of a free hit. As you mentioned, France, was it France that sort of declined the place that they were offered?
Yeah.
Spain coming in, so they can go out and enjoy it. But of course, you are picking up ranking points. There's team ranking points, individual ranking points here. It's important for Azamendi to try and get a result here today for a number of reasons. It's not just, oh, well, we're out of the group stage, we can do what we like.
Yeah.
There's still pressure, there's still a lot riding on a match like this.
And I think given the fact that they didn't play in Istanbul in February, if they take on the European champions and are able to really make a match of it and even get a win, then, you know, that's something to be really happy about.
Yeah, terrifically happy about. And,
3-0.
in terms of the team rankings as well, it would then qualify then higher in certain other events as we look into next year where things change. You've got the Sudirman Cup. You've naturally got those European championships as well. So, yeah, this is still important.
Well, she's off to a decent start here, Azurmendi.
4-3.
Takes the lead once more. And, you know, I also wonder what kind of sort of mindset Nalbantova will be in after that loss to Anseong. It really kind of took the wind out of her sails a little bit, knowing, you know, it was a big reality check for Nalbantova.
Yeah, I'd be interested as well. I would hope that whilst she is still young, only just turned 20, she has the understanding and maturity to deal with something like that. The fact is there is still quite a big golfing class from the sort of top 4, top 5 players in the world to the likes of Nalbantova. So using it as a learning experience, I think is the biggest and most important thing when you come into an event like this. How long can I stay on court? What can I do at that level to try and find a way to beat a player like Anseong? Forget the scoreline, just go out there and try and enjoy it, try and lengthen the rallies as much as you can. That's a nice slice winner again from the Bulgarian.
6-4.
Control now, Bantova.
Yeah.
7,
It's a
4.
lovely backhand. Falls well within the back line.
I think that's that rally from start to finish is going to be a good example of what we'll see a lot in this match.
She's on a 4-point run now. Super.
Eight,
Strong defensively on that occasion. Nalbantova put pressure on her opponent well. And also when she played those defensive shots, she made sure that it stayed as close to the net as possible.
She's forcing
9,
She's forcing
4.
these shots just wide of the lines. A sign of early pressure. She feels like she really has to hit the corners, Azamendi, to put some pressure on this Bulgarian.
And you could see her trying to open up that front court and trying to push Nalbantova back, because Nalbantova's done a good job so far of covering that front court, and Azamendi is trying to find a way past. It's proving hard.
Yeah, it is, and that's been the difference so far. Now Bantova, court coverage is good. The shot selections and the quality typically have been good. That one just long. But you can see that Azamendi is having to play tight to the net, having to play tight to the lines, and she's just squeezing a bit too tight here.
Well, it stops a 7-point run for Nalbantova. Ooh, good net shot.
6, 10.
That was well wide.
7, 10.
Well, it's a fourth UBA Cup appearance for Azamendi. As I mentioned, she's played in all of Spain's previous appearances, and also played both women's singles and women's doubles in the previous 3 appearances that Spain had.
Good aggression there. Yes, and
8, 10.
we get to see now Bantova on a doubles court later on today as well, which will be interesting. It's just the sign of where nations are in some places, that you have to use those players. PV Sindhu playing women's doubles this week, which has been absolutely brilliant to watch, hasn't it?
Absolutely.
That's great. Great work.
Service over.
A little
11,
more
8.
attacking on that exchange, and it's Nalbantova who goes 11-7 up at the mid-game interval. It's going according to strip so far. 11-8, I beg your pardon. And it's 8 minutes played in this opening game.
Got to 20 seconds. Got to 20 seconds. Clara on court. Clara.
Su Xiaofeng asking Azamendi to get back on court quickly
11-8.
to resume this opening game at 11-8 to
Play.
Nalbantova.
Challenge
Bulgaria,
from
Dennis, toe out.
Nalbantova. nice to see Beatriz Corrales down there, wasn't it?
It was.
In the Spanish coaching chairs today. I hadn't noticed that until then. During the break, she was actually quite a big rival of Clara Azamendi for a while. Lost in international. Yeah, that one is long. Lost out to Azamendi in the final of an international challenge 5 years ago. And now she's sat behind her in the coaching chair.
Service over. 9-11.
Corrales also. It was Marin, Azamendi, and Corrales who were the three really permanent fixtures in the Spanish lineup for so long. I mean,
And
we can say if we go back to 2016, last 10 years. Those three were sort of correlated with the Spanish lineup. But this is a good comeback. 2 points gained quickly. She's right back in it, Azamendi, but
Take a new shuttle.
I mean, this is what Nalbantova is so good at, like the change of
Service
pace,
over.
the
12,
explosiveness.
10.
She can be really strong in the way she ups the tempo, Nalbantova.
Yeah, there was a definite change of pace in that rally, and just after the interval, saw a little bit more intensity from Azamendi as well, which may be a discussion during that break with the likes of Corrales and co. That's lovely. Great shot.
Service over. 11-12.
And you just, that was a little bit poor from Nalbantova. Didn't get any quality in that lift. Dispatched nicely by the Spaniards. You look at the potential that Nalbantova has. I mean, if we look at the career Azamendi's had, you know, international titles, and her first international tournament win was 10 years ago. She would have been 17 years old.
Service over.
But you compare that to Nalbantova,
13,
who won
12.
the European Junior twice. One of those, she was 4 years young, by the way, so she's been a terrific prospect for quite some time. You just wonder how far she might go.
And I also think that the fact that they have about 3 of the players in this Bulgarian team who are in that age range of 15 to 20.
It's a brilliant rally from Nalbantova.
15 to 20.
12.
3, you know, real prospects for Bulgaria who can really take over from the Stoevas, because they're, you know, the Stoeva sisters are pushing 30. There is no doubt that they're still very good, but that is now on the sort of senior end of their careers.
Yeah, you can see that by, I think Gabi Stoeva took a bit of a break at one point. There was a definite focus on their, well, certainly her personal life.
And so that Bulgaria have options that they can take to international events is fantastic. The impact that the Stoevas have had. Oh, she'll challenge
Bulgaria
it.
challenges go in.
I don't think she'll get much joy from this challenge. That looked good from Azamendi.
That's called in.
Spaniard's looking a little bit more relaxed since the interval.
Nalbantova's done a good job of just holding on to that lead, even when it got level. She's pulled away again. Yep, it's right on the line.
Challenge unsuccessful. No challenges remaining.
Hasn't really conceded the lead
Service
since
over.
5-4 in this opening game.
13, 15. Play.
Played in the European Championships a couple of weeks back. Nalbantova exited in the 3rd round, where Kersfeld exacted revenge on that European Team Championships final.
Yeah, I watched that match actually.
Service
with,
over.
Kersfeld and Nalbantova.
16.
Tough match, but Kersfeld,
13.
she's been impressive the last couple of years actually. She's somebody that's now in her 30s. Good pick up initially, Azamendi. Oh, that's terrific.
Brilliant.
Service
Nicely
over.
played by Azamendi.
14,
Does well
16.
to find the front court.
It's been a couple of times so far now Nalbantsova has taken more of a risk than she perhaps should have. That one, for example, you've got a 6-foot Clara Azamendi. Nalbantsova is taking it late in the backhand corner, opting for the flat cross clear. It's risky against such a tall player. Your shot has to be perfect. She could have played a straight clear or anything sort of neutralizing down. Keep out of trouble, neutralize the rally and then start again, whereas I think there's just that little bit of youth still about Nalbantsova. Where at times just trying to cut corners a little bit.
Yeah, and doesn't make the right or the sensible
14.
choice.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Still 3 points ahead, 4 away now from taking this opening game, Nalbantsova. Nice, very nice from Nalbantsova.
18,
Straight down,
14.
shows great control. I mean, Azamendi was a former world number 34. That just tells you the kind of quality she has in her game. I mean, yes, she's dropped the rankings now in the 80s, but not one to be taken lightly at all.
No, certainly not. And we've seen some nice winners from Azamendi in the match already. And as I said, you come up against somebody with an obvious strength or weakness. In this case, the physicality of Azamendi. She's so tall, she can hit quite hard. You have to be very careful now on open defense. And like you said, or we both agreed moments ago, shot selection, the choices you make are very important here. Just leaking a couple of errors.
20, game point.
6 game points
14.
now for Kalyana Nalbantsova. Got close a couple of times in this game, but overall, you'd say Nalbantsova has been in control, has been the one dictating. Yeah, that's the way to do it. And it's Kalyana Nalbantsova who takes the opening game.
21-14.
21-14 in 16 minutes. Nice play at the net in the end. Kills it off with ease.
Great touch here. Look at that. Played it perfectly. Borderline legal on the kill, but no complaints.
Силния смач, обаче после пускаха с диагонал. Може би играй го в център, с всичка сила, но в тялото. Айде, пълна концентрация, без да я изтърваш от начало. Да не си помисля за каквото и да било. Ти си концентрирана и си готова. Може би сега да почне да тегли, просто ще го видим. На твой сервис, просто не прави крачка напред. Готова си. Среда, назад. Биш си с дълъг, почваме пак с дълъг сервис. Айде. Но мислиш, тя играе права, ние играеме диагонал. Тя играе диагонал, ние играеме права. Винаги това трябва да е. Айде.
Valera. Count to 20 seconds. Count to 20 seconds. Valera, on court. Enters at second game. Level.
So Nalbantova has the opening game, 21-14. Now ready to get the second game underway and close this opening women's singles tie out. It's a must-win for Azurmendi to stay in this match. Great shot. Wow. Fantastic
Service
reflexes. Azurmendi ready
Love.
at the net. And just as Nalbantova went for the cross net, Azurmendi was quick to react.
Service over.
Gets a nice angle.
1-0.
Nalbantova.
Speed of movement there, gets up early. Controlled attack again. We've used that word quite a lot this morning already. For a young player. Yes, the shot selections and choices she's made at times, and we're talking minimal, have been in doubt, but the control of the shuttle has been terrific. Good rally.
Really good.
Desperation from Nalbantova. She was outclassed and just kept digging deep. Great defense. Look at this, how late she was on this. No, the follow-up here. Here we go. Any shot in court from Azurmendi, and you'd have to think Nalbantova would have been out of that.
Yeah. Pushed it too
Service
far.
over.
Nalbantova.
2-0.
Yeah. Easy picking.
It was, wasn't it? Because
Service over.
you see the shots that Nalbantova
3,
made there. None of
2.
them were out towards the lines. They were all very central. It's typically when you're under a little bit of pressure, you use the middle of the court to sort of push the shuttle back into the centre or lift to the middle to narrow your opponent's angles. I felt like Nalbantova could have really tried to attack and use the lines, but she's getting the result from just using, we call it the zips in training. If you, I know it's hard to see on the main camera angle, but these courts, the mat itself, comes in 4 sections, so 4 long sections.
Yeah.
And
then it's sort of joints.
From the naked eye, you can
Yeah.
see, and they're actually zips underneath.
4-2.
We actually use those lines in training to sort of control when you're under a bit of pressure.
Yeah.
And Nalbantova's doing that really well today.
Yeah.
That's that angle again.
5-2.
It's coming back at Azurmendi a little bit earlier than she'd like, so she feels a little bit uncomfortable. And because Nalbantova is generating that steeper angle, Azurmendi's having to make mistakes in defence.
She's just not looking settled. She's not. So Nalbantova has not allowed Azurmendi to settle into any kind of rhythm.
Comes up with something
Service
special
over.
at the net here. Azurmendi very
3,
low,
5.
finds some quality. I know it's not a necessarily busy or large arena, Mosh, but the noise the Indonesians are
It
making.
carries. Yeah. Oh, good save. That's a really smart move from Azurmendi,
4-5.
because she was completely off balance when she made the save.
It was showing her experience, her class here. Didn't panic, didn't try and win it by hitting a hard kill. She knew she had her opponents out of position and off balance.
Aliana, on court.
Yeah.
I don't think
Aliana.
Aliana can hear the umpire.
Oh, you that Indonesia is playing Chinese Taipei over on court 1 in the women's Uber Cup match, and obviously they're playing for top spot, these two teams, in Group C. So the Indonesian team and entourage has brought out all their gear.
I tell you what, Jonathan Christie has impressed me this week. Nothing to do with his badminton, but how good a drummer he is. He was brilliant the other day. Very annoying for us as commentators, sat right behind the team for 6-7 hours, but you can't deny.
He's got rhythm on and off the court.
Absolutely.
Well, even the volunteers getting among the action, getting into the cheers. They've had a fantastic week in Horsens already. And I say week because, you know, the badminton bandwagon comes in a lot earlier than the tournament, the start of the tournament. Lovely. Oh.
Service over.
It comes in a lot earlier than the start of the tournament, or the start date of the tournament. So a lot of the people, a lot of the players, a lot of the volunteers, they've been here since the start of last week. So it's been a week for them in Horsens already.
It hasn't.
Thank you.
One of the great things to enjoy about this sort of an event when you're involved inside the arena is how big an impact the teams themselves are making, because traveling fans from Indonesia or Chinese Taipei or these nations far away in Asia, they're not going to necessarily make the trip to Horsens in Denmark. The team is making all this racket, all making all this noise, supporting each other, and that's so lovely to see. Head drop from Nalbantova.
6.
Pretty comfortable looking mistake there.
That time.
That is a beautiful shot.
Service over.
Really nicely disguised,
6.
taking all the pace off with the drop.
Yeah.
Landing before the service line, that's difficult.
She's done really well at the net in this second game.
Service over.
Azurmendi has shown
7.
lovely net skills, starting from the first point itself. Yeah, does well to drag Nalbantova across both ends.
8, 7.
Yeah, when she gets it right, Azurmendi, and she is hitting these shots close to the lines. I talked earlier about how controlled Nalbantova has been using the middle of the court. Azurmendi's chance is really to try and find tight net shots, find the lines with the attack. And when she gets it right, she's very effective.
Takes the lead. Consistency will be key for Azurmendi here.
8.
Yeah, similarly for Nalbantova. I mean, the scoreline in this one, for me, Nalbantova has missed when she's been in good position 3-4 times, and I think that's really
9, 8.
It's obvious with the score.
Oh, great defense.
10, 8.
You've got to query that selection from Azurmendi.
I know.
She was mid-flight, wasn't she? She had no choice.
I mean,
Took too much of a risk with the attack because the shot wasn't good enough. But you're right, good defense from Nalbantova.
That's why, yeah.
Service over.
She's missing a lot more in this second game.
9,
the Bulgarian.
10.
I think the mid-game interval is going to come at a really useful time for Nalbantová. Just to regroup, reset.
Oh, we saw that in the opening game as well, where she opened up a 4-point gap and then Azurmendi got it quite close, worryingly close, and then the interval came at the right time for the young Bulgarian, and I'm sure she's hoping for a break now. It'll be important for, I think, Azurmendi to try and have that slight psychological edge and take this advantage away from her.
Good play.
Oh.
Lovely play.
Service over, 11-10.
She did well to pick up the first time, but that proved one step too far the second time, and Nalbantová stays ahead, 11-10 at the break. That one was a nice one. Now,
Under so much pressure then from that point.
so 1 point lead for Kalyana Nalbantová. We hit the 30-minute mark here in this opening women's singles tie.
Go to 20 seconds. Go to 20 seconds. Coaches, retreat to chairs. Thank you, coach. Players back on court. Clara on court.
Yeah, both coaches trying to get as much time with their players as possible. This will be the final push for
11-10.
different reasons. Azurmendi trying to stay in this match. Nalbantová trying to close it out in 2. Yeah, she's upped it a notch
12,
straight away
10.
with the pace and the intensity. Nalbantová, similar to what we saw in the second half of the first game, where she went on a run of points, increasing the tempo, increasing the pressure.
Ooh, a little bit of class. Nalbantová, that was confident.
10.
I mean, she has these moments of brilliance. We saw it against Ratchanok, where she just, in that second game, just turned it on. And you're wondering where that came from, almost, that level of play.
14-10.
Yeah, that's the thing, and so much potential. Sometimes you see rallies from her where everything just looks perfect. She looks like a top player. But then there are moments where a little mistake, which you think didn't need to try so hard there, or just the choices she makes at times. And that'll come, you know, she was 19 only a few weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Azurmendi's birthday next week, by the way, 28, I think, she turns.
Yes. It was, I think, Anders Antonson's birthday yesterday.
Oh.
Had a nice steak dinner.
Oh, right.
With Kim Astrid.
16-10.
No.
Service over. 11-16.
Well, it's a much-needed break for Azurmendi. Nalbantová on a 6-point run there.
Good touch.
Service over. 17-11.
Well, she's turning the screw here, 4 points away from closing out this match. Nalbantová. Yeah, good body smash.
18-11.
Yeah, 8 of the last 9 points. Like we said about the interval, it's coming at a good time for her, and that's proven to be what's happening.
Yeah, beauty.
That's lovely to watch.
19.
She played that point
11.
really well. Nalbantova.
It's one of the hardest things to do, really, in badminton, is when you're moving at full speed into something and then play something soft. It takes a lot of training, experience.
Out. Service over. 12-19.
I mean, to have soft hands at the net is, I think, any racket
Service
sports
over.
is one of the
20.
biggest skills, one
Match
of the biggest
point.
assets
12.
a player can have. As we see 8 match points crop up.
Clever variation. She's been focusing on the net quite a lot for the past 5 minutes, just opting to go over the top. Keep Azamendi guessing.
Oh,
Let go,
Service
good
over.
touch from the Spaniard.
13-20.
gets the roll. Gets through that match point opportunity with a little bit of luck. Azamendi. She has 7 more in the bag, Nalbantova.
14.
Eager to finish this
20.
off.
Yeah, nice idea, but perhaps too eager. You're right. I mean, she's got plenty of points left to just play her game and find one opening.
4. 15.
And I think
20.
in that case, Azamendi should just play her game, play sensibly, because she knows that Nalbantova might be in a bit of a rush.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened there. Something wrong with the grip, or perhaps she caught her own foot with the racket. Oh, there it is.
There you
Yeah.
go. Finds the spot on the backcourt nicely, Nalbantova, and has taken the second game, 21-15. It was a matter of time for Nalbantova, having 8 match points. She converts on the 4th.
Match won by Bulgaria. 21-14. 21-15.
And in the end, straight games win. She'll take it. She has 2 wins of 3 in this Yuba Cup outing, Nalbantova, which is a great showing for someone making their debut.
Yeah, it was a good win. I don't necessarily think it was her best performance we've ever seen. It wasn't solid throughout, but there were certain moments where she was just fabulous. Credit to Azamendi for putting up the fight, but she's just a level below at the moment, this Bulgarian.
So 37 minutes played in this first women's singles match, and it's Nalbantova who secures the win and puts Bulgaria 1-0 up. Coming up, it's the second women's singles tie, and it's Gorgana Pavlova who will go up against Christina Terul, looking to grow Bulgaria's lead. You're watching live coverage of the BWF Thomas and Uber Cup Finals 2026 from the beautiful city of Horsens, which is steeped in history. An 11th century city, over 800 years old, is Horsens. And if you walk the streets, there's plenty that gives away its age and its character. Well, here in Forum Horsens, we are focused on the badminton at hand. Court 2 action between Bulgaria and Spain in Group D. And we're into the second women's singles. Gergana Pavlova will take on Cristina Teruel of Spain in the second match, having gone 1-0 up, courtesy of Kalyana Nalbantova, who had a straight games win over Clara Azurmendi. So the European champions looking to cement their place and finish third in Group D. That would be, of course, their plan of action. And Spain hoping to upset the odds here. They've finished third in their last 2 Uber Cup outings, Spain. So they'll be hoping to continue that. It was only in their first Uber Cup debut that they finished bottom of the group. So that is something that they will be hoping to carry on, given that they have not made the cut for the knockouts. But looking at the experience, looking at what Bulgaria has done this year, it's a hard task for Team Spain.
And a very tough group as well, with Korea and Thailand, and then the European champions in the women's event, Bulgaria as well. It's a tough group for Spain.
Oh, Gergana Pavlova is 22 years of age and still looking for her first win in this tournament. She's not had an easy outing, it'd be fair to say, against Korea. She played Simu Jin, against Thailand as well. She played Ketong. So it's been tough going for Pavlova. This will be an opportunity to pick up some important points as well as a win under the belt. Cristina Teruel also in a similar position in terms of wins in this tournament, in terms of how difficult it has been. She's just 20 years of age, so a major learning curve for both these girls. And this will be their best chance to turn that statistic around.
It's a great opportunity to pick up good ranking points in this one as well. I think the key factor for me looking at this lineup is form, and what these two players have done over the last 6 months. And there's a big difference for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
this is their first ever meeting between Gergana Pavlova and Cristina Teruel.
You want the toss? Receive? That's side. You will start.
So just a quick recap of the toss. Pavlova wins it, chooses to receive, which means Teruel will serve, and she's maintained the end, which is the near end of the court. Pavlova, world number 176 is Gergana Pavlova. She's gone up to 142. She's broken into the top 150. That was in September last year. But more importantly, her win-loss record, her win rate this year stands at 9-6. That's 60% matches won for Pavlova, which will put her in good stead, Bobby, for this match, because it's a big contrast to Teruel, who's 0-6 in 2026.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was sort of focusing on looking at this last night as we looked at Pavlova's match results so far. I mean, coming up against two pretty tough players, I think those results are fair and perhaps as you'd expect. But yeah, Pavlova has had 2 semi-finals and 2 quarter-finals since last autumn, and if you look at the same period for this young lady, Cristina Teruel, she's lost, other than the match she played at the European Team Championships, since the Czech Open last October, she's lost in the first round in every event, all 6.
Yeah, you see there, 215 in the world, highest is 212. She's coming up the ranks slowly. And before the Uber Cup, she played 4 events on the International Challenger circuit. She lost all 4 in the first round, which is why she's 0-6 in 2026. You see there, lost to Kim Gaun, 7-5 in just 23 minutes, and then Kaetong, 18-6. Did well in the first game to try and trouble Kaetong, but in the end, was a 33-minute win for the Thai player.
Yeah, it was a really encouraging game score, actually, and an encouraging watch. I mean, I think no doubt Sarul has potential. Just hasn't been able to convert that into wins on the International Challenge, International Series circuits.
I mean, Pavlova, you know, we talk about the Bulgarian team gold in Istanbul in February, and Pavlova was part of that team. But it's just that when you play these team championships, the kind of experience you get on just playing the best in Europe and now the best in Asia, it's unlike anything else. Because, you know, normally when you enter tournaments, you tend to play at a level where all the players are fairly evenly matched. You don't necessarily get the opportunity that you do in these team events.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a massive step up in class for players like this at this level. Like you said, international challenges and series events is where they want to be at, where they feel comfortable competing. You turn up here and you've got to play Kim Gaeun or Anseyeon,
ladies and gentlemen,
you know, it's
on
just
my right,
a gulf.
Spain,
And a good learning curve, a good chance for experience.
Because you never know when you're going to meet them otherwise.
And on my left,
it just feels like the levels are so high.
Represented by Gergana Pavlova. Spain to serve. Labor. Play.
Emi Sakamoto, the umpire, with Kelvin Tsui from New Zealand, the service judges chair. There are your officials.
One love.
Rally from Pavlova. Yeah, completely dictating the points.
Service over.
Love the slice.
1-all.
I think if she plays within herself, so to speak, doesn't try and push the envelope too much, Pavlova could have a massive advantage with that footwork already. I'm looking at somebody that looks like they know how to cover a badminton court.
Again, just 22 years of age. Plenty of badminton in her.
Yeah, and you said earlier, you know, we've got a young team here. We've got some youngsters coming through for Bulgaria. And the fact that you've got Nalbantova, who's just turned 20, to play against in training, amongst others, means that you can get up to that level and you know how to deal with that kind of level on a daily, weekly basis.
Service over.
Doesn't seem to have that same opportunity.
Yeah, and I mean, and on top of that, you add the Stoeva sisters, who you also have in your training, and the kind of worldly experience they bring. I remember this conversation yesterday when Malaysia were playing in the Yuba Cup for the top spot. And yes, it was hard work for them, but the experience that Tina had and how that kind of she was trying to impart to her younger partner, Ong. It's you know, so important.
Service over.
Malaysia, of course, playing Japan for top spot. But it's Tina who's been tasked to help this young Malaysian team, just like I'm sure the Stoevas have that same influence on the Bulgarians.
Yeah, absolutely.
Service over. 4-3.
Talk about that off court and how big an impact that has, but then you also get inspired by their performances. Tough match I was looking at for Bulgaria against Korea earlier this week, and whilst the Korean team throughout were very dominant, it's the Stoeva sisters that still dig deep and push them all the way. Tight game scores.
Yeah, that was 45 minutes. I did that match, and you know, they did push Bacon Lee.
Yeah. Good technique from Pavlova.
She bought her time.
6-3.
We talk about preparation, shuttle preparation as you're moving on court. Really, really nice from Pavlova. It gives her the options, especially around the forecourt, the service line. She could play the net or just hold, and she's got great technique to send the shuttle into the rear corners. And it's causing Terul some big problems early on.
7-3.
Oh, lovely.
Service
Finds
over.
the line. Terul, who has been hunting
4-7.
for the winner for some time now.
Yeah, I like that combination from Terul. Twice into the deep forehand corner with quality. And then your opponent is always going to find it a little bit slower to get back to base, to expect an attacking shot.
5-7.
Good couple of points from Terul. Sort of the dipping shuttle giving Pavlova all kinds of trouble.
Staying patient, Pavlova. This is an ideal rally for the Bulgarian. That's what I want to see from her throughout. A couple of
Service
times
over.
where she's made mistakes, but if she plays like that,
8-5.
contains it, I just think she's got an advantage, and gradually she'll just start to pull away.
You can't give her that kind of time.
9-5.
No, I think Terul was unsure on the back
Yeah.
line, was indecisive there. He paid the price, because often if you
Okay,
leave
back
it,
on
if you let
court.
it drop a little bit because you're not sure it's going to go in,
Yeah.
and then play a shot, quality's never quite as good.
6 of the last 7 points have been Pavlova's.
Oy, bad luck.
10-5.
Again, staying solid, staying centered. Pavlova.
Yeah, I like the intent here from Terul. Just came short, but she's got to do something. She's got to try and take it to Pavlova, and if she gets a chance to play a tight net, I think she should. Or at least try.
Well, right now,
11-5.
it's
interval.
Gorgana Pavlova who's dictating proceedings. 11-5 up at the mid-game interval. And she's won 8 of the last 9 points. Pavlova.
Караш на едно място, защото тя остава там. Два пъти си повторила, трябва да следва другото скъсяване
7 minutes
веднага,
play.
за да я дъпнеш пак напред. И пак почваш дълго, късо. Просто пълна концентрация. И на защитата удряй. Някой се лепи за ракета. Просто давам встрани ракета и го удари перо. Айде, пълна концентрация. Високия сервис. Чакаш това ниско долу. Реално веднага диагонал. Ако е играла тя права, ти играеш права.
Court 2, 20 seconds. Court 2, 20 seconds. Coaches, return to your chairs.
No aguantas en defensa ahí.
Players, back on court.
Atrás.
11-5. Play.
Nicely put away by Pavlova.
5. Service over. 6-4.
You
We
did
had
well.
one or two long rallies, haven't we, in
Yeah.
this opening game? I do like that flat lift into the corners. It's very aggressive from Pavlova.
7-12.
Bits of luck from Tarul with the net court.
Oh, she'll take it.
See, that's the one. Look where Tarul is when she hits it and how much court she has to cover to get back. And that's credit to Pavlova's trajectory. She's found a good height, a good length. There again. There we are. Couldn't have played that
Service
better.
over.
Poor shot from Tarul.
13-7.
Either too much pace or too close to the middle of the court, making it very easy for Pavlova. But she's still got to do the job, get it done.
And she made it look pretty effortless, to her credit.
Yeah, she's very comfortable from that sort of forecourt low area. Backhand or forehand. Better rally. Yeah, well played, Tarul.
Service over. 8-13.
Wouldn't have necessarily expected that to be a winning shot, but she stayed in that rally with some hard work and quality for long enough.
Well, it's well wide.
9-13.
Not the best shot choice from Pavlova, that one. Good work from Tarul.
Yep. I like that. Flat punch, clear, lovely. Good rally. Good variation.
10-13.
Hasn't really managed
Christina,
to force Pavlova into a very late position in the rear court all that often. Good touch to finish.
Well, I think this is the best we've seen in this second game from Tarul. 3 points in a row for her. 5 of the last 6. I mean, that break has done us some good.
Service over. 14-10.
Too quick
15-10.
It's a shame, isn't it? All that hard work, those 3 points you mentioned in a row. Was Tarul working very hard. And then, very fast lift out the back, followed by a shot into the nets. 2 points gone. This game's getting better and better, you know. First half, both looked nervous, both made mistakes. Another one there, but the length of the rallies and the quality of the shots is improving.
Credit to Tarul because she's engaging in these rallies and looking a lot more confident. to play the game longer, to get sort of head-to-head with Pavlova as much as possible. 27 shots that last rally. It was the longest of the match, but we haven't seen her take Pavlova on earlier in the opening game. Look at that, she's made it a 3-point game again.
Yeah, since the interval. It's good to see. I mean, yeah, she's had to step it up in physicality, I think, to Rule, but also there's an understanding of when you're behind in the rally. Right there, she's on the floor almost, picks it up, cross net. She has to then, with the lift, go really high because she's out of position. So go high, give yourself a chance. Yes, your opponent's got the slight advantage, but you're in a neutral position. Sometimes you have to understand that, look, I'm behind. If you talk about percentages, it's suddenly 60-40 or 70-30. I've got to get back to 50-50 somehow. What do I do? Okay, I'll send it right to the back line, as high as I can, give myself time. Shot comes, neutralise that, and it's 50-50 again. Too often at this level, and we've seen it in both this match and the previous, players are trying to cut the corner, not working hard enough, and take it too much of a risk. You make an error, lose the point.
Well, Pavlova has made a few errors now that will be a little bit concerning to her coach. And I think the fact that Tarul has stayed in these rallies, just extended play, made her play that extra shot, 15, is causing her a bit of trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, and after she's been dominating much of it, she's now trying to hit that winner. We've seen it once or twice in the last few points, trying to find even higher quality and either making a mistake or taking too much of a risk with the shot choice. Good play, Tarul.
14,
might have 15. A match on our hands here after all, you know.
1-point game, this one. I mean, at 1 point, if you think that the gap was 12-5, 7-point gap that has been conquered by Tarul.
Please welcome the technical officials for court number 2.
Oh, unsure. Might have gone wide.
Hot. Service over.
Yeah. Saw Tarul there, just gesturing to the coaches.
16-14.
Should have left that, perhaps.
This is a much-needed cushion for Pavlova.
It is at this stage, and a sign of, again, Tarul. She's been working very hard to keep this tight, and then under no pressure at all. In fact, she had the attacking advantage with that mistake. She's going to have to get that out of her game for the next few points where this really matters.
Didn't even have to look. That was well
18-14.
out of line.
Almost hit the blue carpet then, didn't she?
Exactly. So Pavlova back on top, 4-point advantage, 3 away from taking this opening game. Nice shot.
Good rally. What can Tarul do from here? Not a lot. Difficult.
No, she had her back towards Pavlova when making that clear, and that's always hard to sort of
14.
Guess which way your opponent's going to follow up on, right?
Yeah, of course. Not only was it behind her, but it was also sort of quite low. To find quality from there
Thank you.
is super difficult.
Thank you.
2 points is what Pavlova needs for the advantage.
Service over. 15-19.
Good idea. Poor execution.
Nice. Yeah, credit to Rule.
16-19.
She's matched Pavlova toe-to-toe in that exchange.
Yeah, she was under some real pressure there.
She's not backing off, which is great to see. Especially when she got so close and then it again got away from her.
Good play. Good play.
Service over. 20, game point, 16.
4 game points for Pavlova. Nice serve. Nice. Really good from Pavlova. Very clever. Build up into that point.
First game won by Bulgaria.
Able to drag
16.
to rule all around the court. Create the opening that she needed. 21-16 in 20 minutes.
Yeah, she had enough intensity throughout, didn't she, to carry her through and force to roll into some pretty desperate situations.
Една мрежа си играла. Играй втора мрежа. Мрежа. Пълна концентрация. Високия сервис, дай, ще я играй предимно надолу. Или пред тебе къса. Или назад по правата пак. И вече като дигне, тогава търсиш да избягаш с диагонала, спасява. Но най-важно, да няма грешки в началото, да не изтърваш в резултата. Пълна концентрация. Това ти е най-важно в началото на гейма. И си готова. И мислиш също, тя те пушва много надясно. Едно играеш права, едно трябва да бягаш веднага с диагонал. И на защита да си ги удръч. На защита трябва да има удар. Супер си просто да няма отпускане. Айде.
Hold to 20 seconds. Hold to 20 seconds. Coaches, return to chairs. Second game. Love ball. Play.
So change of ends, and it'll be Pavlova who serves to take on the second game, and having taken the advantage, 21-16, she'll be looking to finish this off in 2.
Yeah, good net shot for
Service over.
Pavlova. to make a short lift.
Love.
Yeah, I think if Pavlova can keep her mental game stable, she's in good stead here. It's going to take something a little special from Tarul, a consistency that I don't think we've really seen from either player to this point. Might go the distance.
It's whether she has the physicality to push, not only push Pavlova, but take on 3 games.
1, 2.
Yeah, I think to get back and force a deciding game for Tarul, it's gonna take a lot physically, and then when you're tired and struggling, that's when your head starts to go, because you start to maybe cut a few corners, go for a cheap shot, and Pavlova certainly looks very sort of fit and athletic, doesn't she? She looks like
2-all.
she could continue this for 5 sets.
Well, it's been a good start to the second game, 2-all. She needs to keep toe-and-toe with Pavlova throughout. Can't allow the scoreline to go up to 12-5 like she did in the opening game. Has to stay within touching distance.
3,
Because as
2.
this game progresses and the pressure builds, it'll be interesting to see whether Tarul has that mental ability to push Pavlova.
Couple of fairly cheap errors already from Tarul. Oh, could have made the effort to kill that, I think.
To challenge it.
Spain challenges.
Hold out.
Needs some additional luck here, I reckon.
Wipe the court, please.
Yeah, because I think also Pavlova had a good look at it. I mean, I'm looking at all of Tarul's matches this year, Bobby, and as I mentioned, she played 4 tournaments on the international challenger circuit, lost in the first round of all of them, and couldn't push a single 1-3. You know, and that just sort of makes you think, does she have not only the mental ability but also the physical ability to see this one
Challenge unsuccessful.
go to 3? As
One
we
challenge
see
remaining.
that was well out and an unsuccessful challenge for
5-2.
Tarul. Early on in the second game, she only has 1 left.
That's a really interesting question, actually, because momentum is so key, not just in a match or for a team event, but over the course of days, weeks, and even months. You find that when you're winning, you kind of have that belief and you just keep winning. When you're losing and losing in straight games for the best part of 6 months, 6 tournaments, as we talked about, that becomes your mental norm.
It also it kind of forms this block that can you even win a game, right? Like, can you push it? Like, you go a game down and then you start doubting.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't look like somebody that's going to just give up, for sure.
Yeah. But, you know, you just kind of thoughts
7-2.
start creeping in to your mind. Oh, I've got a game down. This has gotten tougher.
Again.
Yeah, and it's gotten tougher, you know? What can I do here now?
Thank you. Wait.
5-point advantage. 7 straight points for Pavlova.
shot was risky from Pavlova, but look how well she hits this. That's the shot drop, actually. Finds something outrageous. Top quality.
Service over. 3-8.
Yeah, she desperately needed that. Stops the 8-point run.
Great block. Just long. Sarul hurrying her opponent.
And then the mistakes come.
5-8.
Look at that, 3 in a row. These consistencies will be one of the things I'm sure Pavlova will work on.
Oh dear.
Out. Service over. 9-5.
Saw that in the opening game too. She worked really hard for, say, 3 points, long points. And then she misses a serve wide on a singles score, which is
Hard to do.
8 feet wide. The box to aim at. It is hard to do. And then hits a clear out wide as well.
Service over. 6-10.
I'm sure both these women will go back and just re-look at this game and the kind of errors they've made. Some of them feel
Service over. 11-6.
a little unnecessary. But right now, I think Pavlova will be happy to be 11-6 ahead. 5 points in the lead. She's got a game in hand already. And has 1 foot in the door in terms of giving Denmark a big lead. I beg your pardon, Bulgaria.
И пак, пробвай пак. Ако ти е удобно, само стик смач надолу. Не е нужно да е със сила, но да я накараш да е надолу. Айде. И е така. Пълна концентрация, готова си.
Hold to 20 seconds. Hold to 20 seconds.
Права и с 105 хенсев за когато ти
Coaches,
бие. Едно
return to
ще е
chairs.
права, едно през главата е назад. Просто да я върнеш ти веднага
Players
назад.
baton court.
И да си готова. Айде.
Coaches, thank you. (11-6).
Gergana Pavlova doing what is necessary to stay ahead, 11-6 up. There was an 8-point run from love 2 down to 8-2. That's really done the damage in the second game. Tarul now with a harder task.
Staying alive here, Pavlova, somehow, and again. Wow.
Service over.
Pressure is just too much in the end.
7-11.
But that was patient from Tarul. She didn't rush into closing the point off at the net. She played that extra shot.
Yeah, much better. Pretty good length from that net cord.
Service over. 12-7.
Good use of the mid-court. We haven't seen an awful lot of that.
37.
Pavlova keen to keep the intensity up. Fast, flat attacking.
And you can see her coach constantly talking to her from the back. I'm sure encouraging her when she does get it right.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that
47.
Tarul struggles in defence off the body. It's a good spot from the Bulgarian team, if that is the case.
7-point lead.
Was it?
Misjudgment from Tarul.
57.
She was giving chase. Unfortunately, didn't make the right call.
Look at that, every point since the break. Pavlova. Wheels are falling off here for Christina Tarul.
Pavlova now 5 away from the win. Nice, really nice, that one.
17-7.
10-point advantage. 6 in a row for Pavlova.
Looking more and more confident. Pavlova.
87.
What is that, 8 points, 7 points in a row?
Yeah, 7 points in a row. Since 11-7.
Yeah.
It's been all Pavlova. Tarul got 2 points after the break. Pavlova 6.
Better from Tarul. Yep.
Service over. 8-18.
You can afford a few points like that, Pavlova, given the gap, but I'm sure it'll be in the
9-18.
back of her mind to try and close this game out as quickly as possible.
What's in? Well in.
She's got it.
10-18.
Swirled in. 10-18.
First time I've been on court 2 this week, Nash, but has there been much drift?
There is end-to-end from the near to the far, especially. We've seen players struggle to go.
But not so much sideways.
Service over. 19-10.
Yeah, most of the errors or faults that we've seen in the last 3 days have come on the back lines, especially going from the near to the far end.
Right. Puts herself under a bit of pressure, Pavlova, with that kind of shot. We've seen it 2 or 3 times in the last
19.
few points. Lets the shuttle drop to sort of shoulder height. She could take it earlier and she could whip it into court a little quicker. Instead, she looks for a tight drop shot. And it really is a high-risk shot. Gives your opponent a big advantage.
Nice.
This is better from Tarul, a little comeback here.
12-19.
I like the angles she created with that one. It was about just, you know, being out of reach for Pavlova.
Thank you.
Still a 7-point game,
Wait.
but
Christina, wait.
Tarul having won 5 of the last 6. There's a good little comeback, as you said, Bobby. May not be enough.
she goes again. That's how she started the match.
Service over.
In
So
position early,
20,
holding the
match
shot on the
point,
service line,
12.
firing it flat to the corners. Got a good tactic for her.
8 match points for Vergana Pavlova. Nice shot.
She's done well there, Pavlova.
Game.
Lovely way to finish.
So Vergana Pavlova secures a win. 21-12 in the second. Had some dominating periods in that second game where she went on an 8-point run at the start and a 7-point run in the second half, and that kind of sealed the deal as far as the second women's
Match
singles
won
is
by
concerned.
Bulgaria. 21-16. 21-12.
Good player for the future, Pavlova. That was a nice performance. I think she got her tactics and strategies just right today. Understood what shots were hurting her opponent. And was quite relentless.
Be back to the drawing board for Tarul, this one, who had moments but just couldn't keep a run of points together long enough to cause any kind of trouble to Pavlova. And so it's Pavlova who marches on and gives Bulgaria the 2-0 lead in this Group D clash. They're one match away from securing third place. It'll be the Stoeva sisters up next, who could potentially do that against Karuya and Jimenez. That's the match that's coming up here on Court 2. It's a beautiful day here in Horsens, and tell you what, this is really a nice arena that has plenty to offer for people who've here to see the badminton outside of the action on the courts. There's a lovely little food truck area where the visitors can come and relax, enjoy some grub, and also the sunshine. It's been fabulous weather here in Horsens. And well, here on Court 2, while we're indoors, we're enjoying some good badminton, especially from Team Bulgaria. They're 2-0 ahead. Nalbantova and Pavlova doing the job. And now, it feels almost apt that it's left to the Stoeva sisters to secure the win in the first women's doubles against Nicole Karuya and Carmen Maria Jimenez. That is the match that's coming up. The world number 10s, Gabriela and Stephanie Stoeva, who have carried the nation for so long and continue to do so. Still pretty unstoppable, if you ask me, as they won the European Championships gold just 2 and a bit weeks ago in Huelva. Just tells you that they're still going strong, especially in this part of the world, doesn't it? And well, here their chance to finish third in the group, behind Korea and Thailand, with a win in this match. Nicole Correa and Carmen Maria Jimenez, both 20 years of age, and up-and-coming stars, players for Spain. They're in the top 100 as a women's doubles pair, and hoping to break into the top 50. I'm sure that's the next target for them. And what an opportunity to take on the world number 10s here in this women's doubles match. Yes, they've got their work cut out, but again, it's about seeing where they stack up against someone like the Stoeva sisters, isn't it?
Yeah, they're in for a they're in for a ride here. First meeting for a European pair in women's doubles against the Stoeva sisters is an experience. I tell you what, if the Stoevas focus, and they will, because whilst they are head and shoulders above their opponents, as they are so often in Europe, anyway, they tend to have this professionalism, this never say die attitude, fight for every point, and for me, getting to double figures today for the Spaniards is going to be an achievement.
Black or red?
One of the things that I admire most about the Stoevas is the way they have had this longevity in the top 10. Being from Bulgaria, being the so-called outsiders in badminton, if I can call it that, and yet maintaining this longevity within the top 10 in women's doubles, which is, you know, normally dominated by 3 nations.
Yes.
So that is really something that stands out as an achievement.
Ever so impressive. I mean, they could be nicknamed the stone wall of Stoeva or something, you know, because incredible defense. I mean, they are so resilient, consistent, conservative, and they are so hard to break down. And you look at them and you think, well, you know, there's got to be a way through here. And you go on court and they are so strong. And take those opportunities when they get given the attack as well. And it's just going to be so tough for the Spaniards.
Yep, Stephanie Stoeva, the younger of the two, at 30. And as I mentioned, number 10 in the world, but were number 8 back in 2018 of November. Win-loss record of 12-6 in 2026. That's 67% win rate. And, well, they're coming off a gold medal winning run in Huelva. And they had a great performance against Imsad and Peo Sampran. You see there, beat the Thai pair in 3 games. Came short against Baek and Lee of Korea, who you have to remember are champions at the recent World Tour Finals in December, but pushed them. It was the longest match of the Thai, 40+ minutes. And the Stoevas were the ones who were able to challenge or bring the Bulgarian challenge to Korea. So, it'd be fair to say a decent outing for the Stoeva sisters here in Horsens. For Carmen Maria Jimenez, as I mentioned, from Ibiza, Spain, just 20 years of age, 71 in the world with her partner, Nicole Carulla, and they were as high as 69 back in December last year. Win-loss record this year, unfortunately, is 3-10, including those 2 losses against Korea and Thailand. So just 23% matches won, and as we talk about form every time we talk about matches here between these 2 nations, the form guide is all in favor of the Stoeva sisters.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you mentioned that European gold medal. That was their 5th gold medal. They've got 2 other medals, 7 times medalists at Euros. They've completely dominated women's doubles for the best part over the last 10 years or more.
All the officials for this match, as you saw, Jakob Silberg of Denmark and Su Xiaofing of China. And so we'll get this women's doubles underway very, very shortly. the world number 10s, and Gabriela Stoeva specifically to serve.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Spain, represented by Nicole Carola and Carmen Maria Jimenez. And on my left, Bulgaria, represented by Stephanie Stoeva and Gabriela Stoeva. Bulgaria to serve, Gabriela Stoeva to Nicole Carola. Lovell, play.
Calm and confident already, the Stoeva showing in the opening rally. They've almost redefined the word patience for me, watching the Stoevas over the years.
Service over, 6-8.
Very clever.
2-love.
And, you know, as they've had more matches under their belts, they've just become more and more resilient as a pair, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. I mean, there's, for me, been questions in the last couple of years over Gabby Stoeva's fitness and also commitment. And I think those two things go together with priorities elsewhere. You look at the tournaments they've played in the last 18 months, and there's been, you know, turning up at a big tournament and then they'll take a break or go and play some ICISs more locally, rather than trying to necessarily play in every one of the top tournaments on the BWF World Tour. But that's life, you know. Gabby's turning 30. I think she turns 31, 32 in July, is she? Stefani's a year or two younger, and
Thank you.
You know, life does take over. And if you were part of the Stoeva's setup, you would ask yourself, you know, where can you go from this point? Because you can dominate in Europe, but you come up against the top 10 in the world, typical Asian pairs, and they struggle to break them down. It's just that level they haven't been able to overcome. The 10 in the world is probably about right.
Yeah, I mean, they've made a very clear decision in these last 2 years, like I said, of staying in Europe, not going too far away from home, because that can also take a toll on you, on your body, on your, you know,
private life relationships.
Exactly, life outside of badminton. And so they've made a very conscious decision of staying in Europe, especially for playing women's doubles. We've seen Stephanie Stoeva, who's now also returned to the women's singles, where she is maybe a little bit more willing at this age to play the further tournaments.
Oh yeah, I mean, she's been an absolute rock in Bulgaria. I mentioned at the top of the show, 20 national titles for Stefanie Stoeva. 11 women's doubles times. Those two have won it. She's got 7 women's singles national titles and a couple of mixed as well.
Get ready.
It'll be a sad, sad day when they finally do retire, but you could wonder how long they might continue this for. You might see them for another 5, 6, 7 years yet.
Yeah. Maybe that's the strategy to keep them going.
7.
Stick to Europe, get that extra time they need off the courts when they need it.
Carolina Marin's won 7 European titles.
Maybe that's what they're eyeing.
That might be the aim. Can they make it 8?
Well, this is a punishing start by the Stoevas.
Look how effortless the Stoevas make the rallies look. I mean, they are powerful, they are so strong, they always have been. When they get that chance with anything short of a good length into the tram lines,
it's done.
It's done, but they can also defend all day with pretty good quality.
Yeah.
The Spaniards need some variation. You need to be consistent. You need to match the consistency of the Stoevas. That's not easy. You then need to try and have some variation, use your slice, some holds, some deceptions, if you want to get the better of them.
Yeah.
And then you need to do that time and time again. It's just a tough task. It doesn't describe it well enough.
I mean, I watched them play the Swiss Open in March, where they got to the semi-finals, and that's been their best run on the World Tour. And they played Li and Wang of China, and they nearly had them in that match. In the second game, it was so tight. So it was taking the first game and got really tight in the second game, and they nearly had them and fell just short. And, you know, I just think that that's who they're always trying to match up against, and that's where, you know, when they come across the European pairs, they play the Chinese, the Asian game, where they're happy to control, stay in the rally, play defense, search or hunt their opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. And it's funny how you watch them up against the top players in the world. We talked about playing Bacon Lee, you know, that won the World Tour Finals the last 2 years, the Koreans, and you're up against the Stoeva sisters. And yes, they make the game long, but they're also very used to that style of consistency and not breaking down in defense.
Absolutely. I mean, you would have to be extremely good in defense to take on the biggest Asian pairs, because that's a lot of what the women's doubles is based on. And I'm sure that's how they've also built their own, learning from those matches.
Oh, rare error from Stephanie.
Service over. 2-10.
Well, it's all gone their way so far.
15-9.
And you look at the career they had, hopefully it's not anywhere near over, but their first international title, 2011.
11-2,
15 years ago, Stoeva sisters took their first international title. Amazing.
So 11-2 at the break, 7 minutes played by the Stoeva sisters are on a run here.
Court 2, 20 seconds. Court 2, 20 seconds. It's
11-2 to
Play.
the Stoeva sisters against the young Spanish pair of Carulla and Jimenez.
Service over.
And
3-11.
we're just looking at the women's doubles for Spain. And Carulla and Jimenez were 72 in the world when they did the cutoff for the lineup.
Yeah, there's a pair ranked higher than them now, isn't there?
Now, so Lopez and Rodriguez are ranked higher now, but they were 80 just on the 7th of April, like 3 weeks
Service
ago.
over.
Right.
12,
Which is why Carulla and
3.
Jimenez have to play the Stoevas in the first women's doubles. And we've seen that happen a few times in this tournament already, where the rankings have changed.
Yeah, I mean, the second women's doubles ought to be interesting. You've got now Vantova coming in for Bulgaria. But I find it
Service over.
right, isn't there a... Yeah, it's
4,
Lopez and Rodriguez, isn't
12.
it, as you mentioned, as the second Spanish doubles pair, and they're playing against essentially 2 young singles players in Bulgaria. So they might be able to sneak a point on the board in that one. And who knows what happens in the third women's singles.
Service over.
So calm,
13,
Gabriela
4.
Stoeva, with that net exchange.
I mean, this is a relative walk in the park for the Stoeva sisters. But I don't see them taking their foot off the gas. They're not going to sort of slow down and start playing trick shots, for example. They just stick to business.
14-4.
10-point advantage now.
And now, for number 3, the time between Canada and Australia. Please welcome the third singles, Canada, represented by Chloe Wong.
Spain. Spain, come here.
Oh, little warning here.
It's taking way too long between rallies. You need to speed up. You're delaying the game.
Good umpiring. Is that Jakob Sindberg? I think?
Yeah. Jakob Sindberg. He does a good job of making sure that the game keeps flowing.
It's the question everyone's asking themselves during rallies against the Sudirmans. What do we do? What's the tactic? What are we going to try and change? Because whatever we're doing so far isn't working. You see that a lot, that's better.
Service over. 5-14.
Steffi's lift didn't quite get past the tall Jimenez. Opting for the conservative approach, the Spaniards. See if they can, yeah, they can. They can keep up.
6-14.
Just have to try and draw the error where possible. That's got to be the way to go. Long rallies, hopefully get an error out. Rattle the Sudirmans if they can.
Yeah, I'd certainly be attempting to pressure Gabriela. That'd be my idea if I was up against them. Bring her into the middle of the net, push her back into her own corner in the back, and get her running, and then surprise her with a bit of pace or with a slice. Steffi's always been the well, over the last couple of years. For me, she does more of the running. She does more of the work on court.
14.
And try and get Stefani to the back and Gabby to the front as much as possible.
Well, this is a nice little run for the Spaniards. Fair to say, 4 points in a row. Nice.
Good.
Service over.
Left a huge gulf of space at the net for Gabriela to find.
I mean, this can be the little challenge when you're, trying to play the back court and having the long clears, back and forth, clearing the shuttle. And then it keeps you vulnerable.
Yeah, it's hard to maintain focus. Not for one rally, but for the long rallies over and over and over again, and then somebody changes something. Just does something a little different.
15.
It's hard to keep that focus sometimes. Well, Mosh, our eardrums get a slight rest as Indonesians have...
They've dropped the second game, so it's 1-1 on court 1.
Yeah. Taking a little breather.
Might have dampened the spirits a little bit as well.
16-9.
It's amazing how the atmosphere changes when there's no... I mean, it's only a short break. They'll be back soon, but feels like a different place all of a sudden. Good communication between the two Spaniards. You can hear them very vocal, talking to each other. Oh, nice shot. Good variation from Stefani. Good rally.
Ah, this is a good one, yeah. Nice shot.
It's good work. Really nice.
Still going.
Wow. Longest rally by a mile, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Our graphics operators will be getting ready with that stat at the end, I'm sure.
they're keeping pace here, the Spaniards, which is great.
Thing is, this will be outside of Jimenez and Carula's comfort zone. They won't be playing like this all that often. The Stravers have done it for 10 years.
Yeah, but they did well in that one,
They
didn't
did
they?
very well, and again, it's Gabby that makes the unforced error, and that for me is where if there's any weakness, that's where it's going to be. 67 shots in that one.
Nope.
And also, they've just got to play with that carefree feeling, don't they? They've, you know, there's nothing to lose here. It's a vast gap between their ranking, their level, and the Stoevas, and might as well use that to some sort of advantage.
Superb, Gabby.
Service over.
Yeah, when she's on at the net,
17-10.
it's hard to get past her, isn't it?
Yeah, you got the big smash from Stefani, and then you've got Gabby who settles into a nice body position, body shape, dominates. Trying to get the shuttle past her or into a space is difficult. That shot from Steffi Stoeva then, she almost played a push from the net and then ran backwards. That, again, that just highlights the formation they want to be in. Stoevas. Oh!
18-10.
A little bit concerned about the strapping around Stephanie Stoeva's knee.
Do you know, a few months ago I said
Yeah.
the same. I was like, oh, it's quite heavy duty. That's normally a sign that there's a big problem.
Yeah.
She's been wearing that same strapping for months. She went all the way through the Euros, singles, doubles, mixed. You know, she's it doesn't seem to be affecting her in the slightest. But you're right, it does look concerning, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
because it's, I mean, it's not just strapped, like, you know, we've seen where they wrap a little bit of tape below, just below the kneecap to protect that tendon.
Patella, yeah.
But when you have it strapped all above and below, you know, it kind of feels like there's something there, but yeah,
Nicole?
she's been playing happily there.
Nicole?
I mean, the kind of strapping there, that makes it feel like there is.
I had enough of you. You don't just walk off court at your own pace. You ask me, okay?
Umpire's putting his foot down.
19-10.
I've had enough of you, he said.
It's a bit harsh.
That is a bit harsh.
I mean, there's a better way to say it.
I think he's made his point now.
Yeah.
That's nice. Change of pace, finds a lovely drop shot. That was beautiful.
Absolutely brilliant. And it's 10 game points as a result. They have such nice soft touches as well. Just pops it over.
That's one of their teammates, isn't it? Pops it over. Oh, she's not playing today. Sorry, that was bad.
Oh, did you just say that on air, Bobby?
Honestly, I had to hold myself back earlier in the singles talking about Pavlova. I was coming up with all things in my
All
head.
things dessert in your head.
Cherry on the top of the cake. There was all sorts going on. But anyway, 10 game
Service ball
points.
called. Too high. Service over.
Oh, service full.
11-20.
The first one of the day on court 2. It's called Too High. Nice.
Drop shot again from Stephanie Stoeva.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was just a matter of time, really. Where
First game won by Bulgaria.
Gabriela Stoeva just made her
21-11.
intentions known. She was going to kill it off, and she did indeed to take the opening game, 21-11.
there's been some encouraging signs for the Spain women's doubles team here. The top ranked when the rankings were set for this one, and yeah, let's see what happens in the second.
Y empezar a fijaros también en el tempo, es decir, cuando hay una jugada de 40-50 golpeos, ellos en la siguiente intentan ser más agresivos y jugar en 5 o 10 golpeos.
Court 2, 20 seconds. Court 2, 20 seconds.
Well, the players are ready to go. Back on court quite quickly. Can't imagine there was much to coach the Stoevas
Second
about.
game. Lovell. Play.
No, I mean, I remember thinking earlier in game one, halfway through, there was a lot of chat between the two Spanish players.
Love.
Encouraging, talking to each other, communicating. Nothing coming from the Bulgarians because they are so well patterned. They don't need to talk. They've done it thousands of times, you know.
Anyway, what new thing can the coach possibly tell them? Because
I've always admired, actually, how much positive chemistry there's always been. I mean, I know it might sound odd, they're sisters.
yeah,
But that, to me, would potentially suggest there'd be a few more negative feelings at times and some arguments with siblings.
Two, love.
But not these two, never.
no, they get along really well.
Yeah.
Very close, and even sort of in their spare time are hanging out.
Yeah, that's right.
Whether in Bulgaria, whether they were at one point training in Paris. I don't think they do that as much anymore. In France, and even in France, always together.
Court.
Good
Service
smash,
over.
Jimenez finds some pace
1,
and an
2.
angle. So cause Stephanie a bit of difficulty. Oh, good return. Two dives from Karula. Spain survive. Oh, Stoevas queuing up. That was
Service
lucky.
over.
Off camera, the Stoevas laughing to themselves because
There was confusion there.
she almost took her sister and partner out.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oops. I mean, and I like how she still stayed close enough. I know she was going to run into her. I'm going to move way
3,
back,
1.
away from Gabby Stoeva's racket as much as possible.
Half court. Oh, keeps it alive. Sure, we were going to see the big smash from Steffi Stoeva from that position. Gabby gets a go. Can she get through?
Service over. 2,
Again,
3.
good start by the Spanish pair. Saw it in the first game as well, where they... Oh no, in the first game they kind of let the Stoevas run loose, but this is better.
Service over. 4, 2.
Just long.
Good work, Jimenez.
Nice. Great
5,
redirection
2.
from Stephanie Stoeva. Going cross-court to read.
Yeah, those smashes down the line onto the right hip of Karula. Difficult place to defend, and it's hard to get as much quality as you like. Good from Stephanie, as you say. Changing the angle. Surging forwards. Good defense.
There's a good rally.
Yeah, another long one.
Oh, brilliant. So clever.
7-2.
How they manage to do that so often? With a simple cross lift, it seems to confuse players at times. She was so out of position, wasn't she, Carola?
Yeah. It's just vision, right? It's like they're able to see it way ahead of everyone else.
Service over.
That's a couple of times misjudging the height of Jimenez. I mean, she's got to be 6 foot tall. And then arm and racket on top of that. To just push it into the gap past her. It's not easy. That is easy.
Service over.
She makes up for it in the very next point.
8-3.
Stoeva taking up position at the forecourt in this rally. There she goes again.
I think she's waiting for her turn to intercept.
I get the impression maybe one of them is just feeling a little bit of fatigue, and they've said, look, let's just switch it round for a moment.
Well left in the end.
Yeah, good rally to win.
9-3.
Just solid badminton from the Stoevas. Six-point advantage. And when you have a long rally like that, it's hard to keep your concentration for the next point. And we saw that with the Spaniards.
Ready?
Because they kind of drain the energy out of you, don't they?
Yeah, that's it. It's not just physically sapping, but mentally sapping as well. Oh, should have finished. Does the second set.
Service over. 4-10.
Yeah, and we talked about it earlier in the singles. When you get physically fatigued, the next point, you know, you've got to think fast, or you'll try and take a shortcut somewhere. And against the Stoeva sisters, you'll pay the price.
Yeah. Lovely placement.
11-4.
Forehand, and that means it's 11-4 to Gabriela and Stephanie Stoeva. To be fair to say, they're nearly there in this third match. 31 minutes of play, and they have a game and 7-point lead.
Court 2, 20 seconds. Court 2, 20 seconds.
Coach
Players on court. Nicole, take your towel in.
11-7.
Thank you. 11-4. Play.
11-4 to the Stoevas in game 2. Flick serve.
Patience from Gabby. Brave at the net.
That's another good rally. The Spaniards doing well, and then look at that. Just as I was
12-4.
complimenting the Spaniards of staying in.
Yeah, Karula with one shot that was just a bit short, and Steffi Stoeva unleashes that forehand across the body of Jimenez. There we go, mid-court, bang.
Yeah.
$13-4.
Pretty cheap point, actually.
That has been the trend, unfortunately, with the Spaniards. As soon as they engage in a long, taxing rally, and if whether they win or lose, the next point tends to be a giveaway.
14-4.
Because it takes a lot out of them. And like you've said, they're not used to this kind of play, Bobby, and that
Very few are.
showing
Yeah.
in the bigger picture. 10-point advantage now for the Stoevas.
Yeah, that point just won. Lovely variation again. A lot of flick serves as well today from Gabriela Stoeva.
Oh, he missed it.
5-14.
Reprieve for Carulla and Jimenez. Stops another 4-point run.
Service over.
What happened there?
15-5.
Quality shot from Gabby. I think Jimenez,
Completely misread it.
maybe it just flicked off the net cord, I don't know. She did. The air shot from the net is unusual.
16-5.
They had the writing on the wall now for the Spaniards. 16-5, 5 required to secure the win and the tie. Well, we were concerned about
17-5.
them getting into double digits, Bobby, when this match
I said
started.
that was the task, the challenge.
Yeah.
I think that would be quite an admirable result if they can get 2 games
Into the double digits.
Yeah, double figures. I'm not sure they're going to in this one. They look a little bit out of it. That's worth a challenge, I think.
Bulgaria challengers called out.
Haven't seen Hawkeye all that often on court 2 today, have we?
No. Unlike other days where they've been very active.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a sign of the matchup, isn't that?
Challenge unsuccessful.
That is out.
One
So good
challenge
call by the
remaining.
line judge. And the Stoevas
Service
down to
over.
1 challenge in the second game, but they're
6-17.
in a comfortable position.
Play.
11-point advantage.
long.
Spain challenges called out.
Trying to flick serve.
A couple of inches long, this, I think.
Yeah. Oh, we were just talking about how Hawkeye was not being used, and now it's twice and 2 points. We've just jinxed it, Bobby.
We've been having a nap here on court 2, I think. Sorry, Hawkeye. I've got some work to do.
Yep.
Challenge
out.
unsuccessful.
So, an
One
unsuccessful
challenge
challenge
remaining.
for Korea and Jimenez
Service
as
over.
well. And they both have
18-6.
now a single challenge remaining. And
Play.
more importantly, the Stoevas just need 3 points.
Good from Steffi, holding the attack.
19.
Looks back at her bench.
Jimenez. Yeah, I saw that too. A little sort of shake of the head, wasn't it?
Like, what do I do?
What do I do? Keep fighting. Ooh, out of position, the Bulgarians for a moment. Oh, that is coolly done.
Delightful.
20, match point.
What a way to
6.
bring up match points. 26. It's been one-way traffic in the second game. Stoeva is well on top of it, now have multiple match points.
Let Gabby. She needs to get ready.
Good defense. Ooh, unusual looking shot from Steffi.
Oh, they both were going for a bit of confusion there between the Stoevas. This is something we haven't seen a lot of.
Yeah. Just got in each other's eye line, didn't they? And both looked like they could have picked it up. Both pulled out.
Okay.
So in the end, it is indeed straight games win for Gabriela and Stephanie Stoeva, and they have given the win to Denmark, or Denmark to Bulgaria as a result. I beg your pardon. And I tell you what,
Match won
that
by
second
Bulgaria.
game really was
21-11, 21-7.
a masterclass by the Stoevas.
Yeah, one-sided scoreline, wasn't it? As expected, I guess. And I think the Spanish pair showed a few signs of what they can do when they're forced into having to react to a certain level of opponents. But in the end, it was just too much.
You gotta love the smiles. 21-11, 21-7 in 39 minutes. Karuya and Jimenez, unfortunately, weren't up to the task today. And so Bulgaria secured the 3-0 win, but we will play the remaining 2 matches, including Elena Popyovanova taking on Ines Costero in the 3rd women's singles. watching live coverage of the BWF Thomas and Uber Cup Finals 2026. And, well, badminton is a big part of Danish life, Danish culture, which is why Denmark are such a powerhouse in Europe as far as the sport is concerned. And Denmark are one of the major contenders every time they step on court against any nation, would be fair to say. In Europe, Bulgaria beat the odds when they beat Denmark in the European Team Championships, the women's game, and here they are, have secured their place as far as this Group D tie is concerned. We're on to the fourth match of the day. Elena Popivanova against Ines Costero, with Bulgaria having won the tie 3-0 already, looking for the sweep against Spain. The Spaniards looking to avoid that because they have had 2 5-0 results already away from them by Korea and Thailand. Will be looking to at least get 1 win under their belt. Is Ines Costero the lady to do that against 15-year-old Elena Popivanova? Fair to say this will be quite evenly matched, given both young players coming up the ranks. There she is, 15 years of age, Elena Popivanova. Has been quite important in Bulgaria, set up this year both for the European Team Championships and now in the Uber Cup. And as a 15-year-old, I can't imagine what that feels like, to have to get your head around such high-level tournaments.
Yeah, the good thing is, you know, you're playing for a little bit of national pride here, as you said, trying to avoid another whitewash in this tie. A consolation prize would be, especially for young Popivanova, to fight hard to take this one. But for the Spaniard, you know, that's a good opportunity.
Yeah.
Nothing really to play for now. She can go out and enjoy it.
20 years of age, Ines Costero hasn't played anything outside of the Uber Cup this year. And she's 0-2 in this tournament, so looking for a win, her first one, as is Popivanova. So whoever wins this tie will secure their first Uber Cup victory. It'll be their first meeting between Costero and Popivanova, both making their Uber Cup debuts as well. So you see the coin toss. So Popivanova winning the toss, choosing to receive, and Costero staying on the near end. Elena Popivanova doesn't have a world ranking because she still plays largely on the junior circuit. Not surprising as a 15-year-old. Was part of the European Team Championships as well as won the Bulgaria Under-17 International this year. Both actually very impressively in the women's singles, in the women's doubles, and the mixed doubles in the Under-17 national tournament. And see there against Kim Garam, 7-18, and then 10-4 against Kei Tong. Good show against Kim Garang in the second game, pushing her to 18. As with what we've seen of a lot of the young players in this tournament, what is missing is the consistency and necessarily the sensibilities to play the right shots at the right time. Costero is ranked 502 in the world. And, well, very interestingly, Bobby, and I think this is something that we will be seeing unfold on court, hasn't played any international tournament since 2024, when she was still a junior player.
Yeah, we know very little about Costero over the last couple of years. Those two results are pretty much all we've got to go on, against very high opposition, of course, and I think she did herself proud in those matches against Thailand and Korea. Popovanova here, 15-year-old, ranked 34 in the World Junior rankings. She's actually done very well on the junior circuit for a 15-year-old. Quarters, semis, and a final at the Slovak Junior at the back end of last year.
You can see the officials for this match: Kelvin Suiseki of New Zealand and Emi Sakamoto of Japan in the service judges chair. But yeah, this one is a little bit open, I think it'd be fair to say, because so little is known of Costero that there's that unknown quantity there, and Popovanova, as we've seen
inside them.
As we've seen in this tournament, can be a little bit erratic.
She's 15, so that's fairly...
I know, that's fair. Absolutely. And which just gives, you know, Spain an opportunity here. Maybe unlike the other matchups. Makes
Ladies
for
and
interesting
gentlemen,
viewing, for sure.
On my right, Spain, represented by Ines Costero. And on my left, Bulgaria, represented by Elena Popovanova. Spain to serve, love all, play. One love.
What an experience as well, though, for the Bulgarian at 15, playing in the Uber Cup against the likes of Korea and Thailand, and of course Spain here.
Two love.
The net from Popovanova, and this is a decent start by Costero.
Service over.
Much better.
1-3. Two, three.
Watching the footwork of the young Bulgarian. At 15 years old, I mean, you can see, you know, she's 15. You know, the sort of body shape, if you like, hasn't yet developed the core strength. Strength in the legs to push out of a deep lunge and get back to base within a chassé step and a split. Takes extra steps. That might give Costero a chance to
4-3.
take advantage of that movement.
I just wonder what kind of shape Costero's in.
Service over.
Having
4-all.
not been active on any kind of circuit at all for over a year. Called up for the Uber Cup, of course, when Spain decided to travel to Denmark.
Nice play.
Service over. 5-4.
tell already she's very tactically aware. Popovinova.
Ooh,
Service over.
couldn't quite get it over there.
5-all. Fault. Service over.
She's got that down the line smash.
6-5.
Pretty spot on.
Yeah, she's aggressive from the rear court. She's quite tall, isn't she, for a 15-year-old, and will still be growing. Lovely. Good deception.
Service over. 6-all.
Oh, lovely. What a great rally. Lovely touches from both players.
Service over. 7-6.
Have to keep her wits about her.
So just a 1-point game.
7-6.
Early days in this third women's singles clash. Ooh.
Good defense.
Yeah.
8-6.
She's gone long. She was dictating.
Service over.
I just,
7.
yeah, I think Kostera is doing a good job in, again, staying close to Popovinova, matching her shots.
Service over. 9-7.
I haven't seen that much difference between the two players because there's been a good mix of errors as well as winners.
Service over.
Try the little
8-9.
icy look to get the better of Kostera. A little bit wild.
9-all.
Yeah, I saw Popovinova play against Kim Garam.
Yeah.
And it was similar where she just
10-9.
erratic. I mean, there was no reason for her to necessarily take those risks. And when she did, it was really a lack of control.
Yeah. And she got 18 in that second game, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
Was that
Service over.
It was
10.
it was two things. It was also Kim Garam kind of stepped off the pedal a little bit. I guess got a little bit too complacent. But also, to Popovinova's credit, far more accurate in the second game than she was in the first.
Service over. 11-10. Interval.
And look at that, Kostera snatching it at the break. Courtesy of a few errors earlier on, the last few points from Popovinova. And after 8 minutes, it's the Spaniard who has the lead.
Court 2, 20 seconds. Court 2, 20 seconds. Coach, thank you. Players on court. Eleven, 10. Play. Service over.
She's been good with that.
11
Shot.
all.
Yeah, she's
Papavanova.
been pretty accurate.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pace on that smash, and when she goes for the body, she's hit that body, that forehand line, which is the place to aim. She's also hit a couple of nice smashes down the line, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Just missed this one.
Service over. 12-11.
Imagine that being frustrating for the 15-year-old.
Yeah, she's there.
13-11.
Didn't quite get down wide or low enough to then make it easier to sort of block the shuttle back up and over the net. That strength will come.
And maybe
Service
this will
over.
wake her up a little bit.
12-13.
The fact that Costero's gotten the better of her a few times.
Service over. 14-12.
Has to do better
Service
on
over.
their own defence.
13.
I don't think I've seen Papavanova go cross with a heavy attack yet. Can't remember one, and yet she's hit that straight slice, or straight smash rather, so many times. Costero needs to be ready earlier. Oh, that's poor.
Service over. 15-13.
I've seen signs of the Papavanova we saw against Kim Garam here on court 2.
Service over. 14-15.
The difference being that Kim Garam, and especially in the first game, was far more accurate than Ines Costero is here.
Yeah, the good thing is we've got a genuinely even contest,
Yeah.
haven't we?
Nice.
Oh, that's
missed
worth a
it.
challenge.
Spain
Yeah.
challengers
I thought-
called out.
It caught the line.
I agree
Yeah.
with you. I think this might have caught the line.
Yeah.
Line judge.
And the interesting thing is going to be towards the end of the game when it gets really nervous and really edgy, how these two players handle that pressure.
Oh no. Good call
Challenge
by the line judge.
unsuccessful. One
was
challenge
indeed out.
remaining.
all.
15 all.
16.
Play.
Good pickup.
16,
defence there,
15.
see the difference. She does get down low and wide in defence. Makes it easier to
Goes for the jump smash.
Service over.
Costero.
16-all.
Haven't seen many of those, but
variation.
then just
16.
under pressure with the pace of the exchange increased. Popovinova just isn't quite able to keep her shuttle in.
Yeah, erratic at times. You know, she's 15, as we've talked about, and we will expect that a bit more than if we were talking about other players in today's matches. Oh, lovely. Good hold, little double action at the net.
18-16.
Chance here now for Spain to win their first game of the morning session. 3 points required by Costero.
As Amendi on camera just a moment ago. Sat right behind the court, cheering hard.
That's
Service
better.
over.
Much better.
17-18.
Much better. There's the control.
Yeah.
She took a little bit of that pace that she has off. Now opted for placement.
That's a lovely angle.
That's what I'd be tempted to be advising Elena, is nothing to go as hard with the smash. Yes, they're good winners when we see them in, but she's missed too many.
Service
So take
over.
it off a little bit, go 90%,
Yeah.
and keep them all in.
18.
Far more successful that way.
Yeah, I mean, Costero will retrieve 1 or 2 more than she would have, but, you know, you're in charge of the rally. There you go again, controlled smash instead of the all-out power. And again.
Yeah. But Costero also doing very
20,
well to eventually
game point,
invite
18.
the lift at the front court. Look at that, 2 game points. A chance for Spain.
There it is.
Game.
Well,
First game won by
Ines
Spain.
Costero
21-18.
takes a game here in this Group D clash. The first for Spain. It's against the 15-year-old Elena Popovinova. Should be pretty happy with how things played out in the end there. We've had 16 minutes of play.
Удобно си в позиция, забивай. Може да забиеш някой път по диагонал, ако забиеш само по прави. Когато можеш и диагонал, диагонал. Айде. Без напрежение. Напрежение не трябва да има.
Ines, towel inside the box. Thank you. Court 2, 20 seconds. Court 2, 20 seconds. Second game. Lavo. Play.
So Costero with a real chance here.
One love.
Popovanova's game hasn't been quite up to mark in this encounter so far.
19-16.
It's a huge learning experience for Elena.
But it's been impressive by Costero as well, given that she's not played, you know, more than a year.
It has, but I don't think there've been that many times when she's out-volleyed Elena and hit the floor with the shuttle to finish. I think if Popovanova can control her mind, somehow find a way to be more consistent, I don't think she ought to have all that much trouble in this matchup. But she's in the Uber Cup, she's playing with adults, she's playing with the best in the world on a big stage, on TV.
Service over.
You've got Azamendi and the Stoeva sisters sat watching you. You know, that she'll feel all of that pressure.
It all adds up, doesn't it?
It all adds up.
4-2.
Which is why what the young Malaysian pair are doing in women's doubles with a 15-year-old.
Rosie Yu.
Rosie Yu.
And her partner, I mean, different class.
I mean, yesterday they beat Iwanaga Nakanishi, and it was so impressive.
That's the story that comes out of Europe all the time. Their aspiration as juniors is to do well at the Worlds, you know, all the European juniors, but certainly the World Juniors. And yet, you've got these sort of 14, 15, 16-year-olds from Asia, typically, that are ready to go and play senior tournaments and at a good level. And those that are sort of in the quarters, semis and finals of the World Juniors, who typically they're a little bit older, 17, 18 years old. You see players go out and win Super 300 on the World Tour. I mean, that is massive. You just don't get that from Europeans, typically.
She did well at the net. That pick up at the net was
just tough.
What prolonged the rally for Costero. And then drew the error from Popovanova. Nice. Yeah.
Service over.
Again, placement instead of
6-5.
using all of the power she has. Gets a straightforward result this time. Oh, just long challenge.
Bulgaria challenges called out. Line judge. Line judge.
That's
Challenge
the right decision
unsuccessful.
by the line judge,
One
and it
challenge
is indeed out.
remaining.
And so
Ines.
she's got
Inside
one
the box.
challenge remaining, Popovanova.
Service over. 6-all.
Back on level scores.
Play. Seven, 6.
Rushed into that one for Popovanova as well on the serve return. That's a nice
Service
one.
over.
She's was looking for the
7,
little net lift in the
8.
earlier return of serve. Couldn't quite get it over.
Yeah, tried a little bit too much on occasion earlier. Trying to be deceptive with it, and if they're not working, just got to... It's a little bit frustrating.
Service over.
She's 15,
9,
we can't forget that.
7.
But she's in such good position there. Not a particularly long lift, she's on balance. Has to at least hit the court.
Service over. 8.
It's almost
9.
like you feel she makes a mistake and then learns and changes the next shot. But what it is it's costing her valuable points.
Whee. Lovely.
Service over.
There's the deception
10,
that does work.
8.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about learning curves and what she can gain in experience from this. I'd like to see... I mean, she might be a future superstar for all we know. Once she settles down. It's close, but wide.
11, 8,
But
interval.
I'd like to see her learn in this match.
Yeah.
And find the ability to be a little bit more conservative and realise it's going to work for me.
Yeah, because it's not like she has the biggest challenge on the other side of the net.
Right. It's a winnable match.
Yes. 11-8 to Costero instead at 8 minutes played in the second game.
Court 2, 20 seconds. Court 2, 20 seconds. 11, 8. Play. $12-8.
Costero has gone about her business as best as she can, and you know, it's paying off. She isn't putting herself under too much trouble or pressure. She's playing safe, but consistent. More consistent than her opponent, at least.
Absolutely. I mean, she's been beaten a few times, Costero, but she understands, I would think, that she's going to get beaten a few times. Her level's not quite there.
14,
she hasn't played much over the last couple of years. But the way Poppy Ivanova's playing, you can afford to let the Bulgarian beat you on occasion.
Yeah.
Service
because you'll
over.
also gain points
9,
from her
40.
errors.
Nice. Really nice.
10-14.
That kind of quality is really nice to see from Popovinova. Just guides the shuttle over.
Yeah, but again, Costero made it easy for her. It wasn't the best
Service
quality
over.
of shot. I mean, I'm having to be
15,
honest.
10.
So yeah, it looks like a lovely shot from Popovinova, and it is, but it's quite easy from that position, on balance, waiting for that shuttle to come. But then the following point, she hits that drive up the line. Pretty far wide, under no pressure at all. That's better. She's got a lovely little deception on the backhand side of the net, Costero.
10.
This is a nice little gap she's created. Gone long. Well, Spain now
17-10.
have a real opportunity here to get victory
First point
in the tournament.
in the tournament.
Yeah.
After
Service over.
5-0 losses to
11,
Thailand and to
17.
Korea.
And Ines Costero, who was a bit of a wild card for the Spaniards,
Service
delivering.
over. 18-11.
and they have a pretty solid women's doubles coming up as well.
Against two Bulgarian singles players, yeah.
So there's a real chance here to make it as close and tight as possible. Yeah, it's gone long again. I feel like she's
19-11.
lost her head. Popovinova.
it's in.
Beautiful.
20 match
Lovely
point,
placement.
11.
And it's 9 match points for Ines Costero.
It's going to be lovely for Costero to record a Uber Cup win in her
Service
career.
over.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
absolutely.
big.
12-20.
And something, you know, other teammates, higher ranked, have not been able to do. So it's fantastic. Missed it. Yeah, a shake of the head in the end from Popovinova because another error means that this is game over for the 15-year-old. And Ines Costero.
Match won by Spain, 21-18, 21-12.
Who really has turned heroine for her team by giving them their first point in this Uber Cup.
Yeah, fantastic for Costero and for Spain. Straight games as well.
Yeah, 29 minutes.
That's right. And you know, we'll see a lot more of Elena Popovinova in years to come. As she gets stronger, she'll get more balance. As she gets more balance, she'll find it easier to control the shots, will make fewer errors. And I'm sure she'll grow in confidence with that. But fantastic win in the meantime for Costero.
So they pull one back, the Spaniards. It's 3-1 in this Group D clash. As we have women's doubles coming up next. The final match of the tie, Nalbantova-Pavlova up against Lopez and Rodriguez. Smiles from Ines Costero there at the end because she has finally given Spain a victory in this Uber Cup Finals 2026 that is being hosted by the beautiful city of Horsens that sits in the East Jutland region of Denmark, but more importantly also sits near the Horsens Fjord, which is the beautiful countryside and coastline in this part of the world. So over on court 2, we've got Group D action between Bulgaria and Spain, and we just saw Ines Costero get Spain a point, which means that it's all to play for in the women's doubles. Nalbantova-Pavlova, Lopez Rodriguez, with the Spaniards looking to make it 2 points in this matchup. Bulgaria, of course, having won the tie by winning the first 3 matches. They will finish 3rd in Group D, but a real chance for Spain here to make it close. Having not won a single match before this tie with Bulgaria. So the last match of this Group D tie, it's women's doubles number 2, and Kalyana Nalbantova and Gorgana Pavlova, who were both in action in the women's singles match earlier on this morning. They're going to play doubles as they take on a well-set women's doubles player of Spain and Paula Lopez and Lucia Rodriguez, both of whom have been part of Spain's previous campaigns in the Uber Cup. Paula Lopez was in action the last time out in 2022. Lucia Lopez was in action both in 2022 and the year before that in 2021. Spain, this is their 4th appearance. 2016 was the first time they played, the same time as Bulgaria, actually. That was a year that both these European nations made a bit of history by playing in their first Uber Cups. And courtesy of Carolina Marin, of course, Spain got a lot more opportunities than Bulgaria did. But here we are. This could be something different. Again, a chance for Spain to do something against a makeshift Bulgarian doubles.
Yeah, definitely makeshift. You know, essentially 2 singles players. Yes, Pavlova's played a little bit more on the doubles court, trying to get Nalbantova to play, you know, focus on the singles. These 2 Spaniards have got a lot more experience. Yeah, older players, they've played in the European Championships, they played in the World Championships last year, Hilo Open, French Open, Indonesia Masters. I mean, these are top-level tournaments. And whilst they haven't had an awful lot of success at that level, you know, they're pushing all the time. So they'll be more organised. They'll play with more of a doubles focus. I think the first 3 shots of each rally are going to be more important. And they should have that advantage on paper. Typically, 2 wonderful singles players still can't live up to an actual true doubles pair.
Yes, sir. No receive.
The Bulgarians won the serve, chose to receive. Nalbantova saying she'll receive. And the Spaniards have chosen to stay on the near end. Now, we obviously will be very interested to see how these 2 partner up, Nalbantova and Pavlova. And see there, they do have a world ranking, 690 in the world. And Nalbantova highest ranking was 140 with Maria Mitsova. And the reason they have that 690 ranking is because they were a partnership about 4 years ago, back in 2021, 5 years ago, I beg your pardon, 2020, 2021. They did play doubles regularly as like young upcoming Bulgarians, Pavlova and Nalbantova, but since then have really focused on singles. You see, she was 111 in the world with a different partner in Ivanova. So that 690 ranking that they have is courtesy of playing some doubles a long time ago. And, well, this is the first time they're playing doubles in this tournament. Nalbantova and Pavlova, they were not selected before to play the second doubles because they did have Svetlana Popyanova who partnered up with Pavlova in the second doubles.
Yeah, I saw that. That's right. I think Spain have kept the exact same team throughout, haven't they?
Yes, they have.
In all 3 of their ties.
Well, you see Paula Lopez now ranked 68 with the partner Lucia Rodriguez, but former world number 43s. That was in January of 2025. So definitely got caliber and potential here. Have a win-loss record of 1-4 this year, these two. So just 20% matches won, but they haven't played a lot, it'd be fair to say. And still a better win rate than Nalbantsova and Pavlova, who've not played at all this year.
Ready to play.
And so you see that 2 straight game losses so far against Thailand and Korea for Lopez and Rodriguez, looking to turn that around against Nalbantsova and Pavlova. Very curious to see how that plays out because, you know, like you and I were talking, Bobby, at the break, Sindhu and Crasto have been a revelation in this tournament of times. So it's nice to see them mixing it up, Bulgaria.
Yeah, I think the Indians in a similar situation to the Bulgarians in that they're having to form some kind of second women's doubles pair, and they've done brilliantly with putting Crasto and Sindhu together. I don't know what to expect from the Bulgarians. I've never seen them play doubles, either of these two. We've seen quite a bit from Rodriguez and Lopez. But for all I know, they might have some double skills, the Bulgarians.
Oh, we're about to find out. It's the 5th and final tie between
Ladies and gentlemen,
Bulgaria and Spain.
on my right, Spain, represented by Paula Lopez and Lucia Rodriguez. At my left, Bulgaria, represented by Kalgana and Napana Tarova and Gagana Havalova. Spain to serve. Lucia Rodriguez to Kalana Nabantova. Labo. Play.
Su Xiaofing is the umpire, joined by Jakob Simberg in the
Service over.
service
1
judges
love.
chair.
Service over. 1-0.
Some early luck off the net cord.
Two, 1.
It's also interesting to see how much energy these two young Bulgarians have.
I
Service
don't
over.
think that's going to be a
2-0.
massive issue. I mean, straight games for one, for both of them. They're both young, they're both fit, they're both athletic. For me, the training day in, day out to hit the types of shots on a doubles court that are required. The shorter game around the service line, trying to play tight to the net from that position, trying to anticipate to cut out the drive interception.
3-2.
These two won't work very hard in training at those little aspects because they're focusing on singles, and that can make a huge difference. Like that, for example,
Service over.
Nalbantsova served.
3.
She should really have been looking to cover one of the drives, either the straight drive or the cross drive, and it was the cross drive that came through.
Yeah.
And if she's not looking for one of them, it makes it much more difficult for her partner to be to anticipate, and that's the sort of
Understanding and
yeah, the skills that they necessarily won't have or may not have as well as
they used to,
Spaniards
maybe.
do.
Yeah. And definitely the Spaniards are used to playing.
Exactly. Challenge.
It's called out.
4-3.
Please welcome the technical
Not sure if that was
officials for number one.
onside call, was it?
Yeah, it was a service.
Because from the line judge wasn't sure, so the umpire called for the replay rather than one of the players challenging.
Yeah.
Okay, they are. It's out. Fourth.
Yeah.
5.
Nice quick
3.
reflexes.
Yeah, and that's the other thing as well, being quick enough in those situations. Once you've hit a shot, you've got to be looking for something, and it becomes muscle memory playing doubles. It becomes instinctive. And highlighted at the European final in men's doubles recently, Ben Lane, Sean Vendy, good doubles pair. Came up against Popov and Popov, Tomo and Christo,
Service over.
who are terrific on the
4,
singles court.
5.
And they've got a good doubles ranking, but they're not true
Doubles
natural
partnership,
doubles players. And all of those things were
Represented by Stuart
Obvious.
highlighted.
Yeah.
5. Oh.
Bjorn.
At the very beginning of the rally there, Rodriguez,
5.
turn of serve, pushed it flat and hard, and then she automatically put a racket up round her head to cover the cross drive. That's where the difference is here. That's lovely though.
Australia's greatest finals.
7. 5.
It's a mistake at the net when she was looking for the drop. Pavlova.
Look a little bit casual, the Bulgarians, don't they? Just wonder how much they are really invested in this.
Oh, nice shot.
That was nice.
I mean, I do think, I understand that because
8,
it's not going to make a
5.
difference to their standing at the end of the day on the table.
And are they really looking to push for a doubles ranking?
Exactly.
And even if that is the case, as a pair together? No.
Exactly.
No. So
So in that sense,
there's less riding on it for them here.
yeah, more for the Spaniards, of course.
Absolutely. Oh, nice. You see there how ready she was, Lopez, with the racket. Pushed hard. You've got to
9,
racket up early.
5.
You have to have your racket up at the net in doubles for the front person. Lovely.
They've got their placement down pat there.
10. 5.
Just get the sense that in terms of movement, in terms of placement,
11. 5.
Spaniards
double.
are just far more organized than their opponents.
Yeah, the Bulgarian pair are seemingly lacking a little bit of intensity, and their movements are a little bit one-paced. Badminton movement typically is you sort of hold, you wait, and then you explode into a position, and then you come back, and there's peaks of trust. These two are sort of just plodding. Yeah. Streamlined.
A streamlined.
Straight line. Yeah.
Exactly. 11-5 is the score in favor of Lopez and Rodriguez.
Cut to 20 seconds. Cut to 20 seconds. Eleven, 5. Play.
I mean, the only thing I was thinking was
Service
the
over.
reason for putting them together and playing them is to give them as
6,
much
11.
match time and court time in this event as possible. I know that not necessarily in the choice of
7,
discipline.
11.
but also maybe Svetlana Papivanova is not quite as fit. There are various permutations as to why these two have come together.
Yeah. Yeah. I would imagine that is it Svetlana? What's her name?
Yeah, Popivanova.
Yeah, she's sister, isn't she?
Yes,
of,
the older sister of
Elena.
Elena.
12-7.
Maybe she's carrying an injury or something,
Yeah.
because
I mean, that would be the more likely.
I would have given them the
Thinking.
experience.
Yeah.
You know, get some doubles experience against a pretty good European women's doubles pair in Lopez and Rodriguez. It would have been a useful exercise.
13-7. Service over. 8-13.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Indonesia, represented by Rachel Rose. Rachel Lisa Rose. And
Well, Lucia Rodriguez and her partner Paula Lopez were at the European Championships
13.
in Huelva, lost in the second round to Curtin and Kelly of England in 3 games.
Service over. 14-9.
Yeah, actually I thought they did well to actually take a game off Sian and Lisa from England in that one, and credit to them.
Just
15-9.
looking at when was the last time Nalbantova and Pavlova played.
No. Sprays, no, except
They played, I think they played once. I saw it somewhere.
on court.
Might have been another event like this one.
I think she wants medical treatment, Nalbantova, or spray. And I think Su Xiaofeng says that it's not allowed at the
that's
moment. I think that's what it is. That conversation
16,
between the two.
9.
Yeah, they changed the rules not all that long ago about medical timeouts. I think you have to wait for the interval for certain things.
Yeah.
Unless, you know, you're in danger right now, unless you've got an injury that needs looking at because you can't
17-9. 18-9.
Yeah, the qualification for the team championships. Oh, what's going on here?
It's more spray, right? Only time you have to play, exception to rule.
Call the doctor to come.
Yeah, they're asking for medical help.
Let's try and see if we can listen to this.
Spray. Nati has his own, her own. No, she wants spray. Spray, right? No, medical. One medical. She wants medical.
Избутай ги, ема и...
Player.
Това са глупости.
She's calling for a medical timeout of some description. I do know the rules are that ice spray, essentially, needs to be carried in the player's bag.
Yes.
And I don't quite recall what the rule is about when you can apply it. Obviously, the interval is fine.
Over. 10,
but you
19.
But
cannot
she doesn't have one in her bag, is what Su Xiaofeng is saying. So he can't.
And in that case, you have to wait for the intervals to have a medical officer bring you some.
Service over. 20. Game point. 10.
Well, it does seem like you said earlier, Mosh, that her singles has taken something out of her physically, clearly.
11-20.
Might explain as well why there's a lack of pace, particularly for Nalbantova. Looks a little bit too relaxed. And that might be because she's carrying an injury or something of some sort. Plenty of game points, of course.
That one just
12-20.
landing out. clash of rackets. Yeah, she's barely moving, Nalbantova.
Yeah, when she's in the mid to rear court, she's almost walking into those shots.
Has gone wide. And so 21-12.
Let's see what happens here as well with Nalbantova. If there's a medical officer that's coming on, or what's going to happen when they sit and have a chat at the break with the coach.
I think she's going to call it. I think she's calling it.
Oh.
Yeah,
Could have a retirement,
yep. Yeah. Yeah, I think she's just had a chat with her coach and said she's done. Understandably doesn't want to push her body any more than that is required. They won the tie. And so Nalbantova has decided to call time on the match. Still trying to wonder where she's picked up the niggle. I think when she said she wanted a spray, she was indicating at her abdomen. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, she's sort of squatting here, stretching.
Yeah.
Could be a hip or quad injury or something. It does completely explain, though, why there was a lack of intensity about the Bulgarians from the start.
Yeah.
Nalbantova retired.
So Kalyona Nalbantova has retired.
Match won by Spain.
And the Spaniards win by default.
12.
Lopez and Rodriguez secure the win, and it's 3-2 in the end to Bulgaria. They still win the tie because they won the first 3 matches. Nalbantova, Pavlova, and the Stoeva sisters giving them the 3-0 lead, and then Ines Costero, of course, pulling one back, and then unfortunate retirement for Nalbantova here. I hope she's not too serious with her injury. We've seen a few already in this tournament, and so here on court 2, I can recall at least 2. So I really hope that nothing serious as far as Nalbantova is concerned. But let's just go through those results for you. Kalyana Nalbantova beating Azur Mendy 14-15 in just 37 minutes. And then Pavlova doing the job as well in 39 straight games. Then the Stoevas were the ones who sealed victory for Bulgaria in straight games, 11-7 against Carulla and Jimenez. But Ines Costero gave Spain something to smile about with a straight games win over 15-year-old Elena Popivanova. And then we had a retirement, unfortunately. Nalbantova calling the match short, struggling with some kind of strain. And it's Lopez and Rodriguez who win by default as a result. Final result, Bulgaria 3, Spain 2. Thank you very much to Bobby Griffin for keeping us company this morning.
Absolute pleasure.
And we'll have him back, I'm sure, very, very soon to do more badminton commentary alongside the rest of us here. But join us again for the evening session, because that's going to be a cracker. Korea versus Thailand to decide top spot in Group D here on Court 2. That starts at 6 p.m. local time. And we'll catch you then. Do take care. It's bye-bye from me, Moushumi Daud.